guys, this is our project number 2 here, and just to start off, I'm gonna go over the parts really quick that are involved in this project. So first of all, we have this, it's pretty much the base wrench part, and this is a adjustable wrench, by the way. But this is the base of it. As you can see, we have the sections where the rest of the pieces are gonna go in here. Um, but yeah, I started off with kind of like a base sketch of everything here. And that is right over here. So there's the sketch. And afterwards, I went for an extrude on here, um, which is this one right here. After that, there were a lot of details to kind of sort out, such as all these cut extrudes here. Um, these holes, it took a few sketches involved with those to cut them, and a few fillets, few chamfers on the sides here, just to smooth everything out, make sure there's no sharp surfaces to touch on there. Um, the only piece that wasn't filleted here is this right here, because it needs to be precise for adjusting things. All right. So the next piece here is going to be the second part of the adjustable wrench, the other piece of the head here, the adjustable part. As you can see, there are the indents for adjusting it. So this should be clamping down back onto this piece like so, as my cursor moves, like so. And here is the spiral that goes in the middle. Um, Goes in the middle right here. Um, Another thing, to make these pieces, to make these grooves the same here, I used a helix and spiral pattern that I cut using a swift cut. Um, and it's the same measurements and everything for both of them. So as you roll this with your thumb like so, it should be adjusting this to go further in or further back, depending on what you need to adjust, you know? And this cylinder piece here is meant to go through here in order to keep it in place inside of the wrench. So yeah, that's just a brief overview of all of the pieces that are involved in making this.
Okay, so for our design, me and my teammate, we decided to go with a wrench design. We broke it up into 4 different parts. That's what made the assembly come together pretty easily. This is going to be the base of the wrench, right? So this is going to be the part that is fixed in the assembly and where everything is going to go and slot into. Uh, this just kept the geometry pretty simple here. Didn't decide to do anything crazy. And yeah, so moving on to the second part. This is going to be the part that is going to provide a clamping force with the wrench. It's going to slot into the top of the wrench, and then you see these little sections in the bottom of the part. These are going to be controlled by our gear mechanism to push it both forwards and backwards. Okay, moving on to our third part. This is going to be our gear. So this gear is going to fit into this section of the assembly, and it's going to be the thing that pushes this second part either forward or backward depending on which way you rotate the gear. Okay, and then moving on to the fourth part. It is not a very big part, but it is equally as important. This part is going to be what fills into this little gap right here, and it's going to be the thing that holds the gear in place, which allows it to rotate while still staying in place and moving the second part right here either forwards or backwards. And then once it's put all together, should look like this. And then as we can see, like I mentioned before, we have the second part, which is right here, it fits into there. This is the relief hole, so that when it's fully closed, that it can match up with that. And then this is the gear that's going to move this part, this clamp, either forward or backwards. And then as you can see, it's also a fully functioning gear right now, so. And then it's limited right there because also in real life wrenches don't go farther out than that. And then as you can see, when it's fully closed, that's where it sits. Alright,